Good day.
How's it going, guys? So before we get into this recording, I'm so disappointed. I had two brand new games I wanted to record and put on my goddamn channel. The problem is they ran decently fine, to the point where I can actually play them. But when you go to look back at the recordings, you can see them skipping frames and starting to lag into certain areas. I'm just like, no! I was so hyped up for these goddamn games, and I can't even run them on my goddamn... Well, I can run them on my PC, I just can't run with OBS at the same time. So, this is a spoiler alert. If you don't want to, do that, then don't listen to this part of the video because it'll fade over to the next part. The two big games I was wanting to play on my channel was Fallout New Vegas, which I've never played. I got on the Black Friday deal thing for like $5. I was so happy that I tested it on OBS, everything seemed fine, but when you get into the action part of the actual game itself, it just skips frames and just lags, and it was just like, I can't bother using this. It's just not good at all. And the other one I mentioned it's Ethereum. That was a mobile game back in the day, and it was my highest view game video back in the day. It was like 450 views in just like one goddamn day. They have it for PC. They had it on Steam. Another game I wanted to play, but because the way how old my computer is, can't run that and OBS at the same goddamn time. And it would just skip frames and just lag in certain areas. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
Good day.
So we're not doing any of those ones. I'm highly disappointed. I have one other game I'm going to test just to see if it even works with OBS. They're within the same range of power, but because the way OBS is, and the whole different story. So basically, it's going to be sticking with Diablo challenge runs. I know people are probably sick and tired of watching Diablo, but that's the best game that I have that I can actually pretty much run almost damn near perfect on my computer. So some over the Diablo ones we've done the Amazon, so we've done a Jav Bozon, so we're not doing Amazon anymore. I might do an Amazon one again, but I highly doubt it because I pretty much just knocked out a hybrid one. The Sorceress, we did I believe it was a Frost Nova Hydra one.
Good day.
So we still have the Sorceress to play. That we were knocked out the challenge run for her. We just recently did a Vengeance Oridon. And we did a pole arm only Barbarian. Necromancer one we did, which was actually, it wasn't really a challenger, but it was my first RP one that I actually did at the time when Diablo 2 Resurrected was coming out. The Assassin, we did a martial arts one, so we still have the Assassin challenge runs we do. The Druid one, we did a Werewolf Rabies Fury Druid on hardcore mode. That's before I even got Pluggy. And what other champions am I missing? I think that's about it. So we're re-rolling it over again. Shut the hell up. We're going back to the Necromancer. However, this time we're going to be doing a Bone Necromancer. Now, with the most common Necromancers is the Summon Necromancers. You get like 20 skeletons per each one, and you get a golem in there too. Bone Necromancer works a little more differently because you're being more based on magic, and out of all the champions, the Necromancer is the only one that actually has pure magic. Because with the Paladin and the Sorceress and, well, the rest of the ones, you have either lightning, or fire, or your cold. None of them actually have pure magic except for, actually I take that back, except for the Paladin and the Necromancer, because I almost forgot about the Paladin. Hammers are pure magic. And the Necromancer is the one, his entire bone skill tree is pure magic. And I'm pretty sure those are the only two that actually have pure magic. So with a Bone Necromancer, you're going to basically be maxing out your teeth. Corpse Explosion, you'll only really need 1 point, and that's for basically your crowd control than anything else. You have Bone Spear, which actually has Pierce, natural Pierce, so you don't have to worry about like the Amazon where you just have to put a point into your tree for Pierce. And then you have Bone Spirit, which is basically your heavy hitter for single target damage. And Bone Spirit's just to like areas like the Maggot Lair or the Arcane Sanctuary, where it's small pathways so you can just hit them multiple times. It does tend to take a lot of magic. And then your teeth are basically like your wave CC, so you can hit multiple opponents, kind of like multi-shot for an Amazon, except you're using magic. And then most ones they'll either try to build into their skeletons. You can, but the problem is it's going to take a lot of your points away from your actual bone tree. So, but you're doing a pure bone necromancer, you're going to go with clay golem. Now, the reason you're going to go with clay golem over something like blood golem and your iron golem and your fire golem. Fire Golem is going to be completely useless once you reach hell difficulty, because a lot of things are going to be immune to fire. And once they're immune to fire, your Fire Golem ain't going to do nothing to them except for being a walking sponge, and he will eventually die. Iron Golem is very interesting. It's the only kind of unique creature in the game where you actually take an item, a weapon or a helmet, and you throw it on the ground, and the Iron Golem will actually take the attributes of that. So most people will usually use like ruin words that give them something like fade or some form of aura, and then use it for Iron Golem, and then he'll gain those attributes. The problem is once you use that, not only does the item get destroyed, but if the Iron Golem also gets destroyed, that's it. You know, you have to remake that entire ruin word or get that piece of gear back, you know, by either trading or fighting it. So Iron Golem is a little iffy in that area, especially in hell difficulty. Blood Golem, you know, he's going to have like quite a lot of HP before the Fire Golem ever will. That's about it. He's pretty much completely useless. You know, he's most likely the most unused golem there is. Maybe strictly for PvP, that's about it. But even for PvP, most people are going to go with the Clay Golem. That's because he has the ability to slow enemies around him. So he's going to work like Deckerfly, where he's just going to slow them, and that will allow you to focus on the enemies, and the enemies will focus on him. While their attack speed's being slowed, he's basically just a walking tank that's going to slow every enemy around him and take off any CC or any eyes looking at you, so that your Necromancer can just pummel them down. Always recommend you put at least 1 point in your Golem Mastery and 1 point in Summon Resist, but max out your Clay Golem, and then max out your teeth, your bone spear, and your bone spirit. Bone prison and bone wall are pretty much completely useless because they're just more so really for PvP. You try to use this crap against something like Diablo, he's just going to instantly just inferno that stuff, and it's just going to drop. You at least want to put at least 1 point into them because they do have the centuries of actually for like your teeth and your bone spears like that. So just put at least 1 point into those. And then bone armor is another thing. Bone armor is going to absorb damage, so that'd be either being elemental or being physical. It is really good, especially if you're planning to do PvP with it. So at least put the 1 point in there. You can max it out if you want. So if you do max that out, just between bone armor, teeth, bone spear, and bone spirit, you're already going to be level 80. And then basically you're going to be dumping the rest of your points into your clay golem, and then, you know, little attributes after that. Really choice option whether or not you're going to want to max out your clay golem or you want to max out your bone armor. So that's your choice, optional. When it comes to curses, low resistance is going to be completely useless to you because it's only for elements. So your fire, your lightning, your cold, and poison. Be considering that, you know, the bone skill tree is just pure magic, low resistance is not going to do anything. Deckerfy is actually the way you want to go because Deckerfy is just a better version of Amplify. It's actually more powerful. On top of that, it actually slows down your enemies too. So eventually, once you reach level 24, you want to actually save up a few points and go down to the skill tree and get to Deckerfy. Amplify, you really going to want to put 1 point into it. You really don't want to max it out because it only increases the area of the size of the curse, not so much the actual damage itself. And then we have your skills. Now, strength, dexterity, vitality, and your energy. The only time you're ever going to really put points into for your energy, which aka your mana, is if you're planning to make a it's a sorceress and it's energy shield. That's about it, because energy shield is going to take away from your mana instead of your health. But with a Bone Necromancer, because he's going to be using so much of that mana, I'm going to put points in my energy and my health. Dexterity, on the other hand, I'm not really going to worry about unless I plan to use a sword, because most of the time you're going to be using a wand as it is anyway, since wands don't require strength or dexterity to use. you know, there's that benefit, especially with orbs and pretty sure staves too. Strength, you're pretty much just going to put as enough points into your strength to basically use the gear you're planning to use. But because I'm using pluggy and I have different sets of pieces of gear, our strength is going to be a little more higher than it normally would be. For like an average necromancer, about 80 strength is much as you're going to need, because usually you're going to be rocking Enigma. And if that's going to be the case, it's usually going to be a Wormhide or a Dust Shroud, and even then that's like 60 strength. And Homunculus, which I want to say is maybe 60-65 strength at most, unless you plan to use something like Spirit Shield if you can't get your hands on Homunculus, and that's alone is going to be like almost 160 strength. So it's going to take a lot of your points away from your Vitality. But Vitality is going to be one of your biggest assets to stay alive, because it's just going to be you and your golem. So there's going to be no backup to save you if you are getting mobbed up on. But that's how we're going to do it. It's called SoulFlay, and this is going to be our new challenge run. As usual, once I get my pre-gear set up, we're going to be switching over to player 7, and then we're basically going to see how far we're going to get. So I do apologize for not being able to put Fallout New Vegas or Ethereum. Those are the games I really wanted to play, but my computer can only handle so much. So stay tuned. This will fade over to the actual gameplay itself, and this video will probably be over like 30 minutes as it is anyways from just explaining this. Alright, we'll see you guys then. Alright, let's start this up. Oh, and I almost forgot to out of breath again. Mercenaries. Always recommend you go with the Act 2 Mercenary, especially because he's going to take a lot of that pressure off of your golem. And because if you're running skeletons, your skeletons also get the bonus from his aura too, so.
All who oppose me, beware.
But yeah, we have like different challenge runs like that for the character, so I pretty much think from here on out, like I said, I'm going to try that one other game, see how well it actually works. If it's not too laggy, then we might do it after the Necromancer challenge run. Otherwise, I mean, my channel is mostly just going to be dedicated to Diablo 2. As much as I like to be a variety YouTuber for games, like I said, my computer is like old as hell, so I can only play what I can only play. But it seems like some of the Diablo 2 video challenge run videos have been hitting pretty high. I mean, like 40 or 60 views per month, so that's always nice. So, and considering this is the OG Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction, not the Diablo 2 Remastered, I'm kind of surprised. But one of the comments, one of my buddy Rathnon, he's all like, when are you going to start playing Diablo 4? It's like, I can't even barely run Diablo 3 as it is, let alone Diablo 4. Yeah, big shout out to him too. Definitely going to hang out with him sometime. And someone's like, comment below, it's like, Diablo 4 sucks comparison to OG Diablo 2. Like, he's not wrong, you know. I mean, I've tried watching Diablo 4, I really have. You know, I tried putting the time and effort in watching that. It's just, it does not interest me whatsoever. I mean, the storyline alone is just meh. You know, it's like having like, how can I put it in words? For instances, like, say you have homework due on Monday, you know, and then you're like, yeah, I'll get it over done the weekend, and then it's like an hour before class starts, you realize that your homework's due. And you try to mash it up all together as quickly as possible. That's basically kind of what Blizzard did to Diablo 4. I don't really think they put really any actual time and effort, because even you look at something like a Diablo 3, the storyline wasn't that bad, you know. And it's just like Diablo 4, it just seemed like it was just made too quickly, you know. And I really hope they don't mess it up like they did with Diablo 3 with like the auction house and crap like that, because that's what really ruined Diablo 3 was that goddamn auction house. And they're like, yeah, we're going to have an auction house in it. No, we're not going to take it out. And then we're going to jumble around, we're going to throw it back in there, and it's just like, why? You know. And it's like, I've watched some of the gameplay, I've watched like the entire cinematic, you know, story to it, and it's just like,
within this place.
It just doesn't interest me. That's why it's like the OG, you know, Diablo 2 Lord Destruction will always be the best. It's better in remastered, in my opinion, too. And I'm making a lot of hate for that, but so yeah, we'll start that there. With Teeth, you can actually set it as your actual main attack instead of your secondary attack. That's choice option there too, which is actually one of the few ones that actually allow you to do that. Can I use my smart? Oh, I don't. Oh, because I use A for that. Apologize. Haven't eaten anything either. Really, is it? What? I think my glasses went here real quick. I do apologize for all this. Not allowing me to scroll my things. If I have to use A, I'll just use my keybinds. I do apologize. Rather than have to squint. Ah. I'll just keep hitting that guy in the crap. It's really weird. Let me see here. I'm going to start with like the 2-2 for 2 strength, 2 do health, and then like 1 mana. And then we'll basically, once we reach about 80 strength, I think that's when we'll actually stop. Because I have the ability to actually reset my skills and my stats, so I can just do that whenever I want to. And then just adjust it through that. Teeth are not very that accurate, especially with the amount of mana that it actually takes to actually use them. Like I said, they're basically just a form of crowd control. And at the beginning of the game, they're going to take a lot of mana to use, and they don't hit very hard. But I think in the end, you get like, I want to say maybe 24-ish teeth. So basically it just spreads out into a giant wave. Don't use it against Indariel. That's all I can say. I mean, if you have to use it against Indariel, make sure you at least have Amplify. And make sure your Golem's strong enough. Because even Clay Golem, once you get it at level 12, Indariel's poison is going to wreck your Golem big time. So, but with Indariel, hit her with Amplify and place them up. You know, make sure you have like a lot of mana potions because, like I said, teeth are not going to hit that very hard. I mean, I think once you reach Indariel, your teeth is going to be maybe doing 20 damage. You know, and I looked at Indariel's health, and she's got like, I want to say like maybe 1200 health. Something like that, maybe slightly more than that. She's only level 12, so but her attack potency is what makes her so dangerous. Because you can go in there at level 20 with just your standard gear, and you'd still struggle against Indariel. Especially if you don't realize she's actually weak to fire. So it's like really cold in my room, right? Okay, you killed off my skeleton, so that's whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna get. Let's get Amplify next. I usually would go with Bone Armor, but I'm gonna get Amplify next. Because that Amplify is gonna help us out a lot. I'm definitely putting my jacket. Ah, crap! I'm pointing to. I think it's what, Central? No, what the hell is it? Alt? Alt. There we go. Okay. I had to make sure they didn't mess up my recording for a minute. I'm like, did this stop recording? So I do apologize. I'm so scatterbrained right now. I'm just so upset with the goddamn game. So this first video is not probably gonna be entirely perfect. So I do apologize for that. Amplify does work with your skeletons too. So there's that too. So. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out my reactions for Alien Romulus, which is going to be the new Alien movie that Ridley Scott's coming out with, which so far from the teaser trailer actually looks really good. And Imaginary, which is supposed to be like a horror movie about imaginary friends, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know why I bother keeping gems. It's like, I never use the damn things anyways. This is gonna be a problem not having any goddamn mana. We don't have any mana on us, do we? What is this? 11. Yeah, it's ethereal anyways, so it's not really that much. Mana, 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 mana! Yeah, still better than nothing, I guess. Gotta be careful when I'm more corpse fire over here. Brains. You ain't getting these brains. Run by him real quick. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. You have a shot over here. I really might just use a bow. I'm not gonna be that honest about it. At least keep some sort of safe distance. Never be afraid to use a bow at the beginning of the game with spellcasters. If you are really struggling that bad, it will help you out a lot. Oh, good. Allergies have been like ridiculously bad too. Sir, thank you. It's like every time you try to go in for a high five, you're both missing. It's like, stand still, damn it! Alright, let's do this. Oh yeah. Oh, give me that mana. And a rare pair of boots? Well, you heard about my new challenge run. Well, that's so really nice of you. Well, I guess you consider it a challenge run since I'm making just a pure necromancer. You gave me goddamn ethereal boots. You shit. It's like you think you get like, it's like going to Christmas and you get like the biggest present there and you think it's like, I know exactly what that is. And it only turns out the item that you want, it turns out to be like a pair of clothes or something like that. It's just like, you gotta be kidding me. I have a weird, funny sense of humor, so if you don't like it, deal with it. But yeah, so like I said, I think we're just gonna strictly just stick to Diablo 2. Like I said, I'm gonna try the other newer game, see how well it works. It is an RPG platformer, so you're kind of like think like Castlevania. I usually don't play those type of games because I'm really bad at them. But I'm definitely gonna test it out off screen to see how well it plays out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna dedicate myself just to Diablo 2. So.
Not enough mana. Is that
Enough to earn the Rogue's trust. If you actually never seen my Necromancer Mavic roleplay walkthrough, go check it out. If you like roleplaying in like a former storyline that was created for a certain character, you'll like my Necromancer one then.
You have cleansed it.
You have cleansed it. It's evil. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I have. The thing too with bone armor, it only disappears once the amount of damage has been absorbed. So with 20 damage, that's like say 20 hits. So once you get hit 20 times, bone armor will disappear. There's no actual time limit for bone armor, so which is actually really nice. It is another one that will take quite a bit of mana to actually use. How much? 80. Good grief, woman. I don't really bother keeping gems anymore, so I'm just silly goddamn things. Pretty much once I got pluggy, it was just like, gems are completely useless to me. I might just use a bow. I'm really thinking about it, because unless you has anything really good in here. For 4,400 gold, to get the hell out of here, that crap. Jesus. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be using a bow for a bit. Don't judge me. Her shit's like really goddamn expensive. I'm gonna keep those on for now. And we'll keep it on the back. I really don't want to use a bow, but at the same time, I really have no other option.
Welcome, my
Because until I reach level 12 and actually get my goddamn clay golem, I mean, the beginning skeleton's only going to last for so long.
What can I do for you?
Well, Charcy, we're going to need some arrows. I had a lot of good luck. Alright. So what are this in? 13 minutes? Alright, cool. I think once we reach actually Bloodhaven territory, that's where I'm going to do... We should be high enough at that point to be able to actually start using some beginning gear. I have almost full Trang set too. The problem with Trang set is like level 60, I think? Or 40. Because we were level 50 when we beat Bale. I don't know, I'll have to check it out because I don't remember what Trang's... I think I have the Trang's armor, shields. I think I'm missing the helmet? Because the shield is the most... No, excuse me, the belt's the most difficult part to get. I think I have like 2 Trang belts too. But one of the nice things about Pluggy 2 is its drop rate's also increased too. So it's not like standard Diablo 2 where your drop rate's only like, say, 10% to get like a set piece, you know. And played some TFT last night with my friend Coco. Big shout out to her too. Make sure I put their little Twitch things in the description below. Check them out. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the new TFT. They did like a disco version of it, and it's like I haven't played TFT in like 3 years, so it's like going back to it. It's just kind of like, you know. But I'm constantly getting my ass kicked in TFT. It's like the best I could do was like coming into 5th place. She almost came in 1st too, but someone had like a well built jinx, and she ended up coming 2nd. But I mean, it's like. She plays more TFT than I do, and so like, congratulations. Let's see, what level are we? 4. Let's see, what level are we? Gotta love that soundtrack. I don't know if they actually ever changed the soundtrack in Diablo 2 Remastered, or do they keep it the same? Because they did so many different changes in Diablo 2 Remastered, so I really hope they didn't change the soundtrack to it. Explore Bloodmore real quick. See what loot we can get out of here, then we'll head over to Cold Plains. Probably do that in the next episode anyway, so. If you watch my videos long enough, you know I'm the type of person who will literally like to explore everything. Even a game like Diablo 2, I don't care. I try to get every nook and cranny and crevice and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of people are going to like, just get to the quest line. Hey, you know, if that's your type of style and that's the way you like to play an RPG, more power to you, but I'm the one that likes to explore, you know. And of course you have those same type of people going like, well, I didn't know that area was there. And I've been playing the game for like 200-something hours. Like, the power to explore. Hell, you never know. I mean, I could be messing around in Bloodborne and a Saigon piece drops. Unlikely. But you never know, you know. There's just a lot of people who just like to rush into the main storyline and then pretty much explore afterwards. I mean, like, well, that's you. Because, you know. We got 17 minutes here. This time we can actually sell items too. Oh, excuse me, it was a Vengeance Orden, but it was a gold pickup challenge run only, so that was my latest one. So where you can only pick up gold that was dropped by enemies or chests. You couldn't sell any items or anything like that. And beginning game was actually pretty difficult, but afterwards, once I started putting on all my charms and increasing my gold rate and stuff like that, it actually came a little more easier. But it's mostly just the grinding part about it all. But we're going to end the video right here, and because of the intros and all that crap like that, eventually will add up. So this is going to be our new challenge run. It's going to be a Bone Necromancer pure Bone Necromancer only with our clay golem. So really not something unoriginal, but you know, I might increase difficulty wise by like setting only like a certain gear or some crap like that. I don't have decided yet, but I do apologize, like I said, once again, for probably the 100th time. I'm not about to put those other games on my channel, but I just can't run them. The gameplay videos are just way too laggy. It just doesn't look good. So pretty much from here on out, we're just going to be doing just Diablo 2, you know, until I can find games that are actually going to work. Like I said, I know Google Play is starting to open its beta to putting mobile games onto the PC. How that's going to work, I have no idea. But I'll definitely explore in that area and see how it goes. But that's about it. So stay safe, healthy, and sanitized. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave comments below, and let me know what's your favorite playstyle for Diablo 2. You know, do you like the Necromancer as much as I do, or are you more of like a elemental user like the sorceress, or you know, like to come in with the big guns like a barbarian? Leave those comments below and make sure to check them out. See you guys.